Hello and welcome back to Cooking with Steve. Once again, cooking is one of my favorite things to do because cooking, is a way to share yourself with others and make other people happy. And that's the most important thing that I want to accomplish when I do any cooking. I want to make people happy, especially my family who I cook for often. All right, today we're going to be making some truly fire chicken wings. Okay, chicken wings that can go against just about any restaurant out there. I promise you. I'm going to be cooking about 3 kilos of wings. I'm not sure what the poundage is on that, but it's a lot, trust me. Okay, all right. And first, before I start cooking, I'm gonna mix up some spices because I like to put some spice on it, and it truly elevates the wing experience. I already have a little bit left over from last time, so I'm gonna pour that first into my mixing bowl. I like to have my spices very smooth and blended well, so that's why I like to blend them together rather than just mix them with like a spatula or with a whisk. All right, I'm gonna start out with some brown sugar, about half a cup of brown sugar. This helps give it a nice sweetness as well as caramelizing the meat as you cook it, or after it's cooked, depending on how you use it. Today, I'm going to be using it in after cooking, so there's not going to be much caramelization, but it does taste really good. Next, I'm going to be using some Cajun seasoning. Any Cajun seasoning we do. This is from Gabon. They don't pay me, but they should. I use their seasonings quite exclusively. Also some tandoori seasoning, same company. Just gonna dump it in there, and I'm putting in about 1/4 of a cup of each. Next, we gotta have some jerk seasoning. Same company again. They make really good spices. Overall, I'm really happy with it. And I'll put in about 1/4 cup of that. And then, last but not least, chicken and herb seasoning, or herb chicken seasoning. I'm reading the Japanese on here, so it may be called something different, but it's a nice blend of seasonings to add to any chicken dish that you're doing. All right, next we're going to add some, and let me just give you a better angle on this so you can see the mixing bowl so far. Put in some fresh cracked pepper, about 10 to 20 rotations. Boom. White pepper, About the same amount. Whew. Some MSG. Boom. Some onion powder. Love onion powder. Garlic powder. Love garlic powder. Also, we're going to use a little gram masala. Not too much, but decent amount. Maybe about, I don't know, about a teaspoon. Some allspice. About a teaspoon. It's strong, so you don't want to go too far. This is S&B Select spices, by the way. If you're interested in getting the same kind. Some simple salt and pepper. About a good teaspoon of that. Ginger powder. About a tablespoon of that. And then some sea salt. About a half a teaspoon. Of course, it doesn't have to be exact. If it's a little bit over, don't worry about it. Some Himalayan sea salt. About a teaspoon or so of that. And some mixed herbs from McCormick. About a tablespoon. And what else? Some parsley. About a teaspoon. One of the most important ingredients, and it might be shocking, cinnamon and sugar. And we're going about a third of a cup of that. Okay. And I think we're about ready to blend it all up. Okay. So now we're gonna go over here to the stand the mixer. Set it on low first. After that, you can kick it up a little bit. You don't want it too high, it'll start flying out. You don't want that. All right, just keep an eye on it. You want to do this for about 2 minutes, but after 1 minute or so, you want to scrape down, get a spoon and scrape down the sides. Actually, I'm going to get a rubber spatula. Scrape down the sides. Make sure nothing is hiding underneath. Sometimes with these stand mixers, you can get it where, you know, it looks blended and nice, and guess what? It's not. Because on the bottom, you got all the stuff that didn't get mixed in. All right, so just make sure Wipe down the side. Let it go for about another minute on medium speed. And a medium speed. Oh yeah. Now don't worry if you can't necessarily find all these ingredients in one place. You know, some of the spices might be hard to find, but just use, you know, kind of the spice blend that you like. This is very good if you can find the spices without like the Cajun and the tandoori chicken and the jerk chicken spices. You can, instead of that, if you don't have those, you can just use a lot of garlic powder, onion powder, which should be able to find, garam masala, allspice, maybe some cayenne, some paprika up in there, you know, and you're basically maybe a little curry powder if you can find it, and that should pretty much mimic most of the flavors from this spice. All right, very carefully pour it out of the bowl. And we're ready to rock and roll. Yay. And this can be saved and used at different times. You know, it doesn't have to only be one use. You can use it several occasions. These can be kept as long as they're refrigerated in a refrigerator, in an airtight container. They can last you a couple of weeks, yeah? So you can have multiple uses for them, okay? So we'll be right back to start preparing the teriyaki sauce that goes over the top of everything. Stay tuned. All right, welcome back. As I said, we're going to cook the sauce, the teriyaki sauce, to flavor and dip the finished chicken wings in, and it is fantastic. All right, first things first in the preparation, you're gonna need garlic, lots of it. Fresh garlic is best, okay? You're going to need soy sauce. Any soy sauce brand is okay. This is Jufuda. It's just regular soy sauce. Some Mirin, again, any brand will do. And this one is cooking sake. And of course, you're also gonna need sugar and some spices, because I like to add spice. All right, but these are the basic ingredients. So first things first, we're gonna deal with the garlic down here. Hello, garlic. And we don't need to be pretty with the garlic, so I'm just cutting off the ends and then smashing them with the edge of my blade. Let's just do this a little bit faster. this, this, like this, and like this. All right. Now smash. It's smashing time. If you have anything you're upset about, this is a good stress reliever. Oh yeah. All right, and then by doing that, it makes it really easy to take them out of the skin, like so. Okay. There are many people who would argue against doing it this way. You know, they say that you don't get all the oils and things like that from the garlic. Personally, I don't know how much that's true. I mean, garlic is garlic. You use enough of it, it's gonna make an impression. Okay, whether it's smashed before or after. One thing, if you're going for a nicer presentation of a dish, you know, and depending on the type of dish it is, you maybe don't want to smash the garlic, okay? But for this dish, for this sauce, smashing it is perfect. And it makes it a whole lot faster than trying to peel off the skin one at a time. Okay. Now, you want to rinse your hands a bit because they do get sticky from the garlic. Any places on the garlic, oops, any places where there's something like that on the garlic, you want to take that off. Probably not that pleasant to eat. I've never tried it, but no, I don't want to try it even. So, I mean, if you want to try it, you can go for it. All right. Remember, it's you cooking. It's your food. You're the chef. You can make a decision on how you want to serve your food or how do you want it perceived. All right? So you can basically, if it's not going to kill someone, then it's pretty fair game as to how you want to prepare it. What, you know, maybe you're not so huge on spices, so you don't want to use all the spices I do. But if you are a fiend for spice like I am, this is right up your alley. Right up your alley. And make some of the best chicken wings you ever want to have. All right. So when we come back, I will move over to the stove to continue cooking the sauce. Okay, and welcome back. We're over at the stove now, and I'm going to show you how to cook this sauce. Okay, now in a medium to large saucepan, depending upon how much of the sauce you want to make. All right, you need to start out by putting it on medium heat. All right, and just let it warm up to temperature. And this sauce will keep, you need to keep it in the refrigerator, but I'll tell you what, I have used the same sauce for over 10 years, which I will be adding to the pan after. But I've been using this same sauce, or at least a portion of it, for over 10 years. Of course, you must replenish it, which is basically what I'm doing today. All right, but it's an excellent sauce, and the more times you keep reusing it, the thicker and the deeper the flavor gets, and it's just fantastic. Anyways, we're gonna start out with some garlic oil in the pan, as well as some sesame seed oil, a generous amount. The sesame seed oil is like kind of like the magic ingredient in this thing, because wow, it really changes and brings on a nice flavor to it. Now we're going to just go in here, saute the garlic a little bit. We don't really want to cook the garlic too much. You don't want to get overdone on you. All right, and first things first, we're going to come in with a generous amount of soy sauce. Okay, between a cup or 2 cups. Now I already have some made up from the last time, which I'm going to be adding to this, so I don't really want to make too much today, so I only put it in about a half a cup of soy sauce. Next, you're going to want to add some mirin. Again, I'm only adding about a tablespoon or 2. If you're making a bigger batch, then you probably want more like 3 tablespoons. And you just want the cooking sake, or the cooking wine. You want to put in just around a teaspoon or 2. Okay, it's very strong, and it can make it very bitter if you add too much in there. Next, we're going to add sugar. You can add any kind of sugar. I'm using brown sugar today, because I think brown sugar just kind of gives it a more ooey gooey consistency. But not too subtle point there. All right, and mix it together. Make sure that sugar gets broke down. You want it more on the sweet side. If you like it saltier, add less sugar and more soy sauce. If you like it sweeter, add more sugar. Make sure you taste test it, Of course, you're not gonna, do a whole lot of it in your mouth at one time, but just take a little sip, see if the salt consistency, sugar consistency is good. I'm gonna add some cracked pepper here. And some white pepper, about 5 turns each. Little MSG. Ooh. Garlic powder. You can make this sauce with ginger instead of garlic. I don't recommend using both, but ginger is quite delicious as well. Okay. And then I'm going to just use some, if I can get it, some dried onion flakes here. And I don't want the spatula to melt. I've had that happen to me before. It's not fun. Use a wooden spoon. Leave it on a low simmer for about 30 minutes. Take it off and let it cool before using. But that's basically how to make the sauce. Alright? Before I do anything else, I'm going to taste test. See how my levels are. See, just a little bit is good, okay? And that's not bad. That's pretty good. As I said before, I have my old sauce that I'm just gonna add into my new one. I'm telling you, if you love teriyaki chicken wings, or if you love teriyaki sauce, and I'm just going to combine that now. If you love teriyaki sauce, this is the sauce to make. It's greatly balanced with the garlic, the soy sauce, the salty, the sweet. And since I like it on the sweeter side of things, I think I'm going to add just a little bit more sugar to it, as well as a little bit more mirin. Again, after you do that, if you think it's too sweet, you can add a little bit more soy sauce, and you can also add a little bit more cooking sake or Japanese rice wine cooking wine to that, and it should balance the flavors out better. Okay. It's not really an exact science. because, you know, you just kind of have to keep trying it, cooking it. Until it's just right, like that. This is just right. All those seasonings get married together well. I'm gonna bring it to a rolling boil. And then once I achieve that, I'm gonna turn it off, give it a stir, and let it cool down. Okay, and now you can see there's a nice rolling boil. And we're gonna cut off the heat right there in its pack. And see,